What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Amberlynn has posted a update. It's 16 minutes. And of course, it ends with a cliffhanger where she talks about something she can't tell us just yet that may change her life forever. But before we get to that, she starts off by saying she was just cuddling with the cats. Her eyes are going to be red. She's going to be covered in fur. And she said she enjoys the fact that she can sit here and call out her appearance before the chat does. She says she understands she always looks unkept and messy, and that this is just kind of easy for her to get back in the swing of things and filming and doing these vlogs. And apparently, right now, we should just appreciate that she's even able to sit down and be willing to give us these updates, because she says mentally she's been in a funk, but she feels like she's getting out of it. She said she's never really shared her issues with BPD, and she goes over the diagnosis from a year and a half ago. She, of course, blames all of this on her childhood, but says now it feels very different. She says that before she took offense to this diagnosis, but as an adult, it makes more sense. The symptoms have become magnified, and she says she feels alone, and being lonely is scary. She wants to be able to open up. She wants to be able to help others. But she says it's important that she doesn't come online and speak to others about her issues when she's not actively trying to improve them. So, with that in mind, she's talking about going out and getting help, what she's going to do, the fact that she may be open to taking medication again. And she says she's done the first step. She's found the person that is going to be able to help her, but she's not went beyond that step. She's not contacted the person. She's just found them. And apparently that is enough for her to feel like you should champion her. She says that her and Tommy are also watching movies, and she goes over the movie The Substance. She says that the way they watch movies is essentially in 30-minute blocks, and it can make a movie last a couple of days. And she goes on to how she loved this movie, the things she liked about it, what happened in it, how she came into it with an open mind. And just like with Chantal, you get the idea that her day is really just surmised of sitting around doing nothing, looking for ways to fill time, and then projecting that once they have something to fill their time with, they're aggravated by having nothing to do. She says that going forward, she wants to talk about her schedule for YouTube, and she doesn't want to let anyone down. She would have a breakdown if she didn't meet someone's expectations. So she goes over not doing Vlogmas last year and how the community constantly wants her to do it, even if it's just 3 minutes a day. So right now, that is what she is going to do. The standard will be a 3-minute Vlogmas video each day. That way people don't expect too much, and she's just going to call them mini Vlogmas vlogs. She then goes over her Instagram. She says, you can follow her on Instagram outside of YouTube, and this is kind of where the title of the video comes in, even though we're 9 minutes into this. She talks about how in the past she's kind of overshared and she doesn't want to do that anymore. And she offers that Tommy is having these health problems right now, and she's not going to go into detail, but the drinking has impacted not only Tommy, but also Amber, apparently. So Amber is going to stop drinking with Tommy. And Amber says this is fine. It's no big deal. She's a social drinker. And she asked the community to support Tommy during this hard time. And she goes over the fact that in the last vlog, people picked up that she said she was going to let the dogs out. She mentions Tommy does have a dog, and apparently this dog and Twinkie are great friends. She said the community should love this. They always wanted her to have multiple pets, and now she has her cats, the dog, Tommy's dog, everyone just living in perfect harmony. She ends this with a Target haul, and she says this haul hopefully is going to get back into a rhythm, because she doesn't want to be just simply attached to Tommy's hip. She goes back into the fact that she has to work really hard not to do this, and all of it starts with a planner, some toothbrushes, toothpaste, shampoo, body wash, hair ties, a pen pack. She loves Papermates, for those of you that were wondering, and of course, some dog treats. And I will offer in this video, you really get the idea that, this is content. This is what she sits down to make. The fact that she's literally just sitting here on a bench, I don't even believe on a chair, and going over the same thing, saying, I don't want there to be expectations. What do you really feel like people are expecting from you at this point, Amber? I mean, I think over the years we've learned the bare minimum can be expected, and excuses can be certainly expected. And why are you coming out so soon? Even with Tommy's permission and saying, oh, she has this issue with drinking, you have came online in questionable states. So it just doesn't really seem to make sense to go through all of these kind of deep issues, right? Going back to her childhood, the BPD, the issue with Tommy, the fact that she was really only supposed to go on a vacation, but has clearly moved herself in to the point that she's been staying there. The fact that she feels like she's essentially attached to Tommy's hip, and it looks like maybe has given up some of the things she was dependent on to help herself. But we also have to come to terms with the fact that she does look in worse health than ever before. I mean, I said it in my last video, I'll say it in this one. It just doesn't seem like she's going on the right direction to be healthy. And when someone's sitting there and saying, listen, I don't feel comfortable coming online and talking about these issues until I can be successful, you know, Amber, where has that mindset been as it pertains to your health for years? And of course, you know, one of the main reasons I really stopped watching Amber was this, you know, almost, you know, foreboding, I have something exciting on the horizon. You're not going to believe what's happened. I was going to tell you in this video, but I'm not. And then later on, she never decides to share it. You know, don't bring it up if you're not going to share it. Because when you talk about expectations, you're setting the expectation right there that you are going to tell us something important in your life is going to happen, and then you're not sharing it and likely never will. Within the same video, you ultimately admit you're oversharing what's going on with your partner. If Tommy isn't in a good place, then Amber, you're not going to be in a good place staying with her. At this point, it almost seems like you're stuck there, and I don't know that you can get back home. I just don't understand all the dramatics, all the theatrics that really, if you look at it, no one is falling for. I mean, you're supposed to be there to get better. You're supposed to be there to get help. You're supposed to be getting treatment. Wasn't that all the point of this? And yet all we've done is sit here and reflect on past diagnoses, current diagnoses, and just kind of creating excuses to build in, while we're not getting better, all the things that we're doing that got us to that point. Amber, I don't know how long I've watched you. It's been years, but the whole concept of journaling to get better isn't working. At this point, I think maybe the only thing that would work is you to completely just dismiss YouTube. I mean, you've pretty much already done that as it is. Stop hardly posting videos that really don't even facilitate anything for your viewer other than you going through the absolute bare minimum, throwing a haul at the end and pretending you're making content. And maybe go out in the real world and see what it's like to get a job every single day and go do something and have people in your life and be productive somewhere. And then maybe those positive traits can trickle over to the rest of your life. Because right now, it doesn't seem like you're putting yourself in a position to thrive or be successful in regaining your health. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching it. You know I will be back as soon as I can with more content.